Hi, thanks for this morning's meeting. I found it extremely useful and hopefully you did too. I've put together a short 2-3 minute video just to refresh you of some of the functionality that we talked about. As you may recall, we were really focusing on the ability to assign AIP labels to physical files that reside on a file system. And this is a piece of application that we've designed that allows us to extend ControlPoint's functionality. Rather than talk to you any more about it, it's easier if I show you it. So remember, we went into categories, and what we have on our system is we've designed or put together a number of categories that basically will group together files based upon the AIP label that has been assigned to them. So for example, if we go into personal, we will see a number of files that have got the personal AIP label assigned to them physically. So for example, if we take balance sheet and I extend that, you can see as part of the ingestion, we've actually detected the AIP label called personal. Now, this particular file resides in a share called test data in a folder called MW data. So I'm going to log on as a typical user and show you that we can access that file. Probably the easiest way of doing that is if I remote desktop and I will log on as myself, so Martin White, standard user. So we're going to access the file using the native application. In this particular case, it's Word. So it was on a file share called test data, MW data. So if I double click on balance sheet, we'll launch the native application Word. The top left hand corner, you'll also see the AIP label that has been assigned to this file, so personal in this case. So let's close that file now and go back to our original ControlPoint session. And for this particular file, I'm now going to assign or change the label that's assigned to it. And this time I'm going to assign the encryption label. So this particular label is going to encrypt the contents of the document to restrict who has access to that information. So if we now go back into our categories and we go into personal and we're looking for the balance sheet, it has now been removed. If we go into encryption, and there are quite a few in our encryption pool, it's at the very top, just to make sure it's the right one. If we hover, and I'll just do to show you. So if I filter to make sure there is only one, or because there could be several. So if I hover across, you will see the location. So test MW data, the one below it is in a different location. So this is the one we're looking for. Now, because I've now assigned that new label and we've encrypted the file, if we now go back to our original user, this is the same location. So test data, MW data, we go down to balance sheet, double click what we did before to run the native application. But this time the file has been encrypted, so we no longer have access to the data. So just to recap, I suppose what we covered off there is we've provided an external add-on to ControlPoint, which enables ControlPoint to physically assign AIP labels to file system data. Once that label has been assigned, we trigger a metadata update back into ControlPoint so that information is updated so you don't have to perform an incremental ingestion, for example. Use case for this capability, well, lots of people are moving towards 365. The ability we now have is to label all the legacy file system data, assigning the correct labels based upon the contents of those files. We can also check that the existing users are assigning the correct labels to their files based upon their content. So this really provides the customer with the ability to ensure that sensitive information or files that contain IP are actually secured and possibly encrypted to ensure that they have a high degree of security. Feel free to contact me if you need any more information or if you have any questions, and I'll be delighted to talk to you in the near future. Thank you.